Good morning, good morning, good morning. If it's your first time rocking with the boy, I be the KING double three. That be me, King Spree. And you locked in with the real estate, you hear me? Reporting live from Miami, Florida. Oh yeah, we October something. I think it's October 20 something. 28th, 2025. Staying alive, staying alive. So, I saw a post the other day about Amazon releasing possibly 600,000 people, layoffs. Then I saw another post yesterday that said they were relieving 30,000 corporate employees. Now, whether the stats are true or not, whether it's 600,000, 100,000, whatever it might be, the fact still remains that people are losing jobs due to improvement in technology. Now, whenever you watch a video or look at a movie like Terminator or iRobot or all the things that come where like the robots take over, we always be like, well, that's really far in the future. And we'll be long gone before that happens, if it ever happens. That's sci-fi. But the reality is that not only is it not that far in the future, but we got to think about how it affects you before you get to the point where the robots take over. There's going to be a slow infiltration. It won't just be one day you wake up and they pulling you out of your homes and putting you in concentration camps. And of course, we're being sensitive to anything that happened in real life like that. So no disrespect, but they're not doing that. What is happening though is they're taking your jobs and they're leaving you without a paddle going up creek. And a lot of people are working very entry-level jobs and don't have the resources or the skills or the education or the connections to be able to go ahead and get to the next level within their field or pivot to another field. And think about all the people that like take out student loans to get an entry-level position. Think about all the people that are Amazon workers that are single mothers or just trying to figure this whole thing out. And now they're sitting here without a job, and the economy, not to use buzzwords because I know everybody uses buzzwords, but the economy is as bad as it's been as far as the ability to find employment at a decent salary, right? I mean, there are even some people that try to get jobs at McDonald's, Cane's, Burger King, so on and so forth, that are having 2 or 3 interviews they got to go to. I might be exaggerating with the 3 interviews, but they get an interview and then there's like a extensive time period for callbacks. So you have a mixture of people not wanting to work those jobs. Then you add to the fact that now people are in a situation where they do an interview for said job. They're going to make maybe $14, $15 an hour. And now they're giving you the runaround on even getting employment or even being able to go in there after the interview and have an actual opportunity to clock in and serve these burgers. It's discouraging, to say the least. So now we're mentioning AI and Amazon, though it's meant to bring a lot of help to people, everyday life. I'm using AI right now as we speak, or a version of AI as we speak. It's meant to help you in the long run, or in the short term, but in the long term, in the long scheme of things, you're going to end up being in a situation where a lot of the things we know, cashiers, assembly line workers, Amazon workers in this case, a lot of jobs that are kind of mundane, and I think I'm using the word correctly, jobs where you kind of can once you learn how to do it, it becomes mindless. You don't really necessarily have to have like a thought process to do it. You think about restaurants, for example, like McDonald's and Burger King and fast foods. They're set up so that essentially kids can run it. By kids, I mean like teenagers, 16 and up. And then there can be a person that's 25 overseeing the kids, right? Shift supervisors. And then there might be one general manager that's been there a long time, and we'll pay them, $70,000 so that they can have the pressures of day-to-day operations and making sure my restaurant runs smooth. As you start putting in kiosk and essentially AI style technology, as you start putting in AI technology and various things that make the journey go a lot easier. Think about now, and back in 1999, even early 2000s, you could go to your local McDonald's, you would speak to the cashier, or you would speak to the intercom system, and they'll take your order, no pickle, no mustard, so on and so on. Now you're doing all that. I don't even speak to people when I go to a fast food spot. I don't want to speak to somebody. I want to put it in on my phone app and just go pick up. Or I want to put it in the kiosk and then just have them say, hey, your order's ready. I don't want to explain no pickle and hold the mustard. And they could be like, hey, what? No, I don't want to do that. I just want to be like, hey, boom, 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 we're done. And as we move forward with technology, in my opinion at least, we're going to see a lot of opportunities for the ones that want to grab it by the horns and utilize the technology to better their lives and their professions. And there's going to be a great, I hope I'm part of it, but there's going to be a great change of wealth or enhancement of wealth or introduction to wealth utilizing AI. But there's also going to be a lot of people that lose opportunities because they're not willing to get on board. They're not willing to do what needs to be done to get to that next level. Like me, I'm trying to look at, how can I use AI to do the video, and then how can I do the thumbnail, and then how can I do this, and then automate it so this happens, and so on and so on. And then you'll also start seeing it, and by start, it's already happening, but you'll start seeing it more frequently in the healthcare field as well. Right now, I don't think there's a way to automate it where you take out being able to be a nurse or take out being able to be some sort of therapist, because that's still hands-on. That's still very hands-on. But there's some jobs, and I can see a world where the physicians, like we just saw, are X'd out the box, because in a couple years, maybe let's say a decade, you're telling me that AI that has access to everything, every article ever written, every journal, every transcribed, you're telling me that they won't be making decisions that are more efficient than the people that went to school for 15 years? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Now, will the patient feel comfortable? Not at first, but eventually they'll learn to deal with it, because that's going to be cost efficient for the hospital. It's going to be cost efficient for whatever the private practice is. Even in a therapeutic setting, rehabs, that's going to be cost efficient. We take out the person, we put in whatever the technology is that can kind of help us gauge not only service, which, sometimes that's not the priority, but also what's going to be considered as profitability and bottom line. And that's where a post like Amazon becomes like very like, I want to say scary, but it's just like, damn, it's here already. It's here already. So keep that in mind. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We got new ones coming very soon. We're gonna try to do it daily, but to be honest, it's a hard ask. That's a hard ask to do this every day. Amazon, 600,000 plus 30,000 corporate level jobs. Crazy. It's gonna all make sense real soon.